Hello! So I'm talking about Beyoncé today. She's everywhere at the moment, isn't she? She's in our conversation, in our cars. She's just generally being her brilliant self in a league of their own. I did a post recently on Instagram and the question was, what would Beyoncé do? And the answer was, maybe these 10 things, perhaps. Because even though Beyoncé and I have a long distance relationship, we've been in the same room, field, twice. The love is strong. However, one of us may not know the other exists, but that's okay. I don't know if you can guess which way around that goes. Anyway, my love for Beyoncé is strong. And there's always phrases, isn't there, of like, what would Beyoncé do? Like it's a quick, oh, okay, cool, I'll do that too. However, as often, it is a combination of things. And having watched her documentary on Netflix and followed her journey, there it is, the J word, for a long time. She's only 2 months older than me, I think. So she's very much been in my kind of frame of reference for a long time. And sometimes there is that sense of like, wow, Beyonce's done this, this and this, and she's in my school year. How can that be? But it's all good. It's all good. Anyway, I've tried to dissect the process of why she is in a league of her own. Because still we see these things of imagining that people get lucky, or it's an overnight success, or it's all right for her, or her success is probably down to X, Y, and Z. But as we all know, it's never just one thing. So if you haven't seen the documentary, go and have a look. It's on Netflix. It's really interesting. The concert itself at Coachella is pretty mind-blowing, and there's loads of behind-the-scenes footage as well with her family. Okay, so here are my 10 things that I've noticed. Number 1, she decided to actually have success, to go for it, to put her heart and soul into things. And do you know what? We all have those moments of no more, enough is enough, or that moment of, okay, let's do this. You know when you eyeball the person next to you, like, okay, right, we've got to get this done. We've got to go for it. Or you have that moment of like, why am I whinging about this? What have I got to lose? I could actually do this now. Now, I'm a firm believer that every action begins with a decision, and that decision can just happen like that. Now, I can't imagine any of this Coachella stuff was just a flippant thought of like, yeah, sure, that would be cool. Yeah, fine. Number 2, she got a big vision. She's really not playing anymore. She's got the platform, the money, support, love and talent to build a wonderful vision. So she does. So one thing I would say to you is, what are the things that you have right now that can help you move forward? Now, you may not have a huge marketing budget. You may not have camera equipment. You may not know the top people in the press that you need to connect with, but there will be things that you have right now. A phone, an internet connection, access to people who inspire you, behind the scenes stuff, free podcasts, online courses. There are so many things that you can do right now, that your focus is on that rather than all the things that you don't have. Because if you start with the things that are working really well for you, that's how you're going to gain momentum and therefore results. Number 3, she realised she needed to build a team as she couldn't do it alone. Oh, this has been so fundamental with my own business journey, actually. If it was just me and a laptop trying to figure it out the whole time, my goodness, I'd never get anything off the ground. And that's not just saying that I've invested to work with people, which I have, but I've invested in programs, but I've also invested time in the help forums. I got so intimate with somebody on Squarespace once, I felt like they were coming for Christmas. You know, sometimes you have to ask those questions of like, I don't know how to do this, or be willing to say, I know this sounds like a stupid question, but could you answer it, please? And quite often, especially if you're in a group of people, somebody else will be so relieved that you have asked that stupid question. So we may be a company of one, but the best find the best to collaborate and grow with. And you deserve that. So even if the people who are on your vision board, who are on your wish list, are not quite in your financial bracket yet, that's okay. Keep an eye on them. They will be doing free content and there will be other ways that you can gain from their knowledge. Number 4, she charged well for now and for later. So she got paid now for the performance, but also for the ownership and producing rights. Savvy. There will be loads of things that you can sell, that you can market, that are not only going to financially benefit you now, but going forward. So think about those things, those products, those services, that stuff that you can record that will go on and generate income. Don't just get stuck in an hourly rate, because it will really limit your time, your resources, and maybe lead to burnout. Number 5, she gave herself permission to still do what she loved and also be a mum. Yeah, it's tough and you do need support to do it, but just because you've had a baby, it doesn't mean that automatically all your hopes and dreams are shelved. In fact, they may come out to play in another way. And I know I found that when I had my son, that I just felt really inspired again. And there were some difficult times over the last few years where I almost had to purge my head, my website, and get rid of old stuff that was no longer serving me. But for the most part, it's given me the most amount of clarity. I don't have time or energy to waste just thinking about rubbish anymore. I need to get cracking. Number 6, she moved the needle. There's another podcast about this a few podcasts back, so go and have a look at that. I'm really interested in this phrase at the moment. I don't want to be generic and surface, and Beyoncé knows the stories that need to be told, the words that perhaps have been unsaid, and she says them all, and I love it. Number 7, she gave herself more time than normal. I think she rehearsed for this for 8 months for a 2-hour performance, which is huge. Most people would just rattle something out, or maybe some kind of rock and roll bands would kind of go, yeah, well, we know the set, it'll be fine, we'll just kind of turn up. So it's been really interesting to see that, and to see that hard work of her coming back after having her kids, because overnight success is not a thing. There are hours of showing up behind the scenes. Number 8, she gave clear communication, and you should too. Where are you not being clear? Where are you not asking for what it is that you need? Where are you saying it's okay and you know actually it's really not? Maybe you're doing a lot of nodding and smiling and then a lot of kind of growling in your inbox behind the scene. But give yourself that permission to have clear communication. You can't lead without sharing your vision. And if you haven't listened to it, there's another great resource which I'll link to in the show notes on the Goop podcast with Brene Brown about how organisations could do this effectively. And it's well worth a listen. I've listened to it twice and it was really super interesting. Number 9, be humble, generous, kind, open, loving. You know all those things that are at your core, that your family or your parents or your close friends instilled in you, what they expected from you. You can bring all of those qualities into your business and life. You don't just have to keep them for being at home or your personal life. You can have that compassion, that consideration when you're in a working environment. And number 10, do it like you're the best in the world and show the world what you can do. So often we feel like we should just play the, oh, little old me, oh, well, I'm just like doing this small little thing, and is anybody even watching? Imagine people are actually watching. There may be stuff going on behind the scenes that you haven't even clocked yet, and you know what? It's all good. People will find you when you least expect it. People will be watching you behind the scenes and never comment or never engage. It doesn't mean they're not watching and they're not finding huge value in what you do. So that's it for today. I would love your thoughts as always. Please check the description box. There's loads of info and resources and tools and all that good stuff as usual. I've linked to everything down below and I'll see you very soon. Bye.